Today I tech a lot about a quick way to convert documents to HTML without having to do any coding work at all. With Google Docs, you can lay out your document and then have Google convert it to HTML with all the style commands included. Let's take a look. The first step is to create the document that you want to convert to HTML. In a previous video on AI voice generation, I had a number of links and commands that I wanted viewers to have access to. I collected those links and commands in a Google Docs file. Here's what the list looked like before I did any formatting for publication. I won't bore you with all the word processing steps I applied to this tool, but after spending some time on this raw list, I came up with this version of my datasheet. I added a title, a short introduction, and titled each section from my list. I used bullet points to help organize each item and embedded the hyperlinks with a call to action for each point. Now that I have the document looking the way I want it to, it's time to turn this document into HTML code. To do this, simply click on the File option in the menu section of Google Docs. Select the download item, then tap on the Web Page option. Google will now convert your file to HTML and save it to your computer. It's that simple. Let's see how well Google captured the format of my document. On the left side of the screen is an image of my original file, and on the right side is an image of what Google created. As you can see, the results are pretty close. Yes, there are some spacing issues that I would probably correct, but overall, the conversion is quite impressive. After comparing Google's document to what I created, I wanted to see the code Google used to make this happen. I opened the HTML file Google produced in Notepad++. Here's the code Google used to convert my document. At first glance, it doesn't look too promising. After a little investigation, though, I noticed that Google placed the entire style and HTML code on one line. It's not the end of the world, but definitely not very easy to read. Knowing that I would be making some changes to this code before final publication on my website, I took a little time to format the code in a way that is easier for me to follow. The first thing I did was remove the style code from the HTML document and place it in a CSS file. I then organized the commands in a way that makes sense to me. Now I can quickly locate the CSS code I might need to make changes to the datasheet in the future. Then I turned my attention to the HTML document and formatted it as well to make it easier to follow. I also added a reference to my newly created style sheet in the head of my HTML document so that all the formatting would remain the same. These steps took about 15 minutes to complete, much less time than it would have taken me to manually convert my datasheet into HTML. Keep in mind that you might not even need to take the time to reformat what Google produces. I made the effort simply because I knew I was going to make changes to this code before posting it on my website. This is definitely a step you can skip when you let Google convert your document. That's it. You now have fully functioning HTML and CSS code in seconds using Google's web conversion tool built into Google Docs. Give it a try for yourself and see how much time you can save by turning your documents into tools that can be displayed in a web browser. Thanks for joining me on this episode of iTechALot. For more useful tech talk content, take a second to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell to receive notifications when new content is posted.